Hello everyone, this is MidasCon here, and we are now on episode 12 of Feed the Beast Revelation. And we have our list for today. Not too many things that are tied together, but a lot of these things are going to bring us closer to the next major goal, which is the end. So we've made it to the Nether, and now we're going to work towards getting to the end. And so what we are going to do today is first tool upgrades. And so there are a lot of ways we can approach this, but essentially we want to use the resources we got from the Nether, which I already put some Ardite and Cobalt, and they got 8 manilium ingots. And I also have some Cobalt in here, and so we have just about everything we need inside of there to do some upgrades. And so what I want to do is upgrade my sword, because the manilium sword is slightly better than what we have now, which is steel. It's just slightly better. And so we're going to upgrade our sword. And I know that's not, I should probably just burn a steel, and let's just make this completely repaired. Where's my steel at? Steel is there. That one corner. Alright, so we'll just compare this. And what I will do is also make a tool rod. Manilium tool rods are pretty good. They add 250, I believe. So really the heads add a lot of durability. And we'll get our book out. And so we'll do some comparisons. And so tool rods add 250 durability. Now the modifiers 0.5. So you kind of get into the math here, and you have to kind of figure out, which one's better based on the modifier versus the durability. But for now, this is actually a pretty good handle. It also gets me cold-blooded, which for the sword increases damage to the target at full health. So you do much more damage to full health targets. And so what we're going to do is we're going to replace our steel head and get insatiable, and then we're going to replace our handle on our sword. So let's make our handle. And for Cobalt, so Cobalt does a really nice thing. It gives you increases the overall speed of your tool when mining and attacking. So you get a nice boost to speed. And so having it as a plate on a hammer is, I would say, a really, really good way of using Cobalt. And also using it as a head, because we get 12 mining speed with it as a head. And so if we go back to steel, which steel is 7, and so we get 5 more mining speed. And so using that on top of our hammer is going to be very nice. So let's go and upgrade our sword. And we can see we have 751 durability, and it's 580. And if we add this piece to it, 727. So you get slightly less, but look at the damage goes up a lot. And so we have 1279, and still that bone handle, that makes a big difference. So you know what, I may just stick with the bone handle. yeah, I may just stick with the bone handle because there's nothing. I mean, you get the cold-blooded effect, so it's kind of a trade-off. But I think I may just stick with the bone handle for now. So we'll just do that. And so we have a lot of durability now, over 1,000. And then we'll use this. We can use this here. So I think this will give us a boost. No, not quite. Okay, well, if you do make a tool that you don't like or a pattern, you can throw it back in there. And look at that. We'll get back the materials for it. So it's not like you're wasting anything if you don't use something. So you can always throw it back in there, and that gets us another ingot of Manilium. But let's go with the Cobalt. And we'll need these two patterns. Let's make sure Cobalt is at the bottom. And so Cobalt, we're just doing it for pure speed. It does also add a element of, I think it adds a little bit more. So 780 versus 540. So we will get a all-around boost over the steel for mining. So we do lose a sharp ability on our sword, but we gain a bonus damage. And let's see, the best tool, the handle. So we're getting to that realm where we have a lot of choices now. So we're going to look at modifiers. So for handles, I know that Manilium has a really good, oh, I'm sorry, Ardite has a really good modifier, 1.4. But we do lose 200 durability for it. But we also get this ability where if we are breaking stone, it will gain durability from that. So this is actually a neat effect for our handles. And another really good handle, I mean, there's other tiers, like there is the Evil Infused Iron and the Demonic Metal, and these do really good damage. So these are geared towards weapons, and this does even more damage and more mining speed. So these are really good kind of end game items for tinkers. So for now, I think we'll just stick with we have Electrum, but that's a negative. I think we will stick with what we have for now. And we could test out later what are the better variations for handles. Okay, so we have our plate, and now we need our head. Do I not have enough? Okay, that's weird. So let's get some Cobalt out. I thought I had enough in there. Okay, let's go put it on our plate. And I think we can pick the plate. No, we can't actually. I'm thinking of a different time frame. So if we drop this plate on here, yeah, we'll lose our well established. Oh, if we do, okay, so if we put it here, we lose our cheapskate. So let's go repair this, and then we will completely upgrade this. And so we don't want to lose well established, we actually want to lose the stone one. So we go from 913 to 1597, and our speed goes up to 193. And that'll really go up when we get the head. Alright, we're done? Yeah. Okay. And yeah, so after that we'll do the tomb. Let's go put back our book for now. And I'll get ready for the tomb. Okay, we have our head. Let's go equip this. There we go, 293. So it's a 1-point jump, which for a hammer is a big deal. And then we have a pretty nice jump to our durability as well. And so we do lose sharpness, but we're not attacking anything with this hammer. This is purely for mining. So we get our momentum, and there we go. So we have our hammer. And we do have modifiers available to us for the pickaxe. Yeah, we still have one modifier for our pickaxe and one for our sword. So I will show you the sword one, because I'm going to use some nether quartz. As far as the pickaxe goes, I'm not quite sure what I want to do yet, but for the sword I want to do sharpness. So look at that, 14.4. So we just put that on there. We even have a little bit more room for 72, so 14.84. So we put that on there, and we now do 14 points of damage, or yeah, a little more than 7 hearts. And let's get our nether quartz. We'll need a lot of that later. So we now have a upgraded sword, and I think that's pretty much it for upgrades for now. So the next thing I wanted to look at is the Tomb of Knowledge. So yeah, so we can make this shape card right now for a little later, but let's make this Tomb of Knowledge. It does require 2 emeralds, so good thing we have a lot of emeralds, and a book. So I have some leather in here. It's probably the end, because that's where my mob drops are. And we have some paper, which is here. Paper. Make our book. And then we make our tomb. Now what this does is it will store experience within its pages. And it stores 10,000 experience. So we have 42 levels, and I haven't died yet, which is a big surprise for me, but I usually die several times throughout the beginning of the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually store all my experience in this. And I think we just hold down, right click. We have 42 levels worth of experience to be stored in here. And so that equates to 3,491. So we have a lot of room to store experience in this tomb. And there are things you can do with this tomb. There's a newer block that they've added to thermal expansion that you can convert this stored experience into mob essence, and you're able to do things with that. But we will get to that later. So let's just put our book away. And so we have our upgrades in our Tomb of Knowledge. So the next thing I want to work on is the Centrifugal Separator. So the Centrifugal Separator is, so it's a block. There's one thermal centrifuge, but then there's a centrifuge for forestry. But we're actually looking at the one from thermal expansion. And this, what it does is it separates components out So the main thing I want to use it for is to get slime balls and blaze powder from the magma slime balls. And so we're going to build this machine, which requires Constantine, and that is actually not hard to get. It's copper and it is nickel. And I think it's a 2-to-1 ratio. We'll see. So it's actually a 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, so we get 4 Constantine ingots, and we can now, we have a machine frame. I think we have both of those things in here. Oops. So we have 1, there we go. We need some gears and a compass. So let's make the compass. Let's make the gears. And then we can make our Centrifugal Separator. I'm going to need some power. Let's grab all 3 of those for now. And I'll expand on this one. I'll just have 2 different places that I'm going to put machines. And we'll just do this for now. I want to leave a space in here next to the fluid transposer for a future machine, which we actually will be making next. So now we can put this in here. It's going to get power. We'll take our we'll take a couple of these magma blocks, and I've been trying to refill my portable energy cell. I did upgrade the other ones to hardened, so this one's hardened and that one's hardened to get more storage, energy storage going in the base, because we will be ramping up energy production very soon. And so what we want to do is we want to get this stuff out of here, and we want to get our magma blocks in there. And so the recipe is 1 magma block will equal 4 of the slime balls magma cream. And we'll just get 8 going for now. Put this back in there. I'm trying to get some sand. So you get cobblestone and a pulverizer, and you get more sand, and you get a chance of getting gravel as well. So I definitely want some sand. I'm trying to keep this organized, the items I have a lot of. So we throw this in here, and we will get a slime ball and a blaze powder. Here we go. And so now we have 2 components of things that I'm going to be building in the near future, especially the blaze powder. And so that is pretty much all I wanted to do with this block for now. But there are a lot of recipes. You can reverse a lot of different things. Of course, you can throw honeycomb into there from all the bee mods they have. But yeah, so we'll come back to this block in the future. Alright, so the next block in the list is the Magma Crucible. And this is going to be very nice because I am actually running low on ender pearls. And so we're going to do a couple of steps here to actually get us ender pearls as we're out and about. It's going to be passively producing ender pearls for us. So we want to make a Magma Crucible, another thermal expansion mod. So we have a block from thermal expansion, and it requires, I think this is the gold one, and I think the other one is the electrum. Yeah. And so we have nether bricks and Invar gears. Invar, I hope we have enough for Invar. Oh no, we only have one. So I'll make some Invar up. Of course, you know, I'm on the edge of, I'm always on the edge of materials. I go mining, but not as frequently as I should. Usually when I run out of something, I will go mining to get that thing and then a few other things while I'm out. We can get us some Invar. Is that enough? Nope. Oops. Okay. So let's make us another Invar gear. And then let's make these, and this block, which is, I mean, almost used for every single block within thermal expansion, and also in industrial foregoing. It's the same block usually. And then 2 of those. And so now we can make our Magma Crucible. Now this block, what it does is it will allow you to melt down materials, and usually it's paired with the fluid transposer. So we will make this input, and we will make this output from here. And so what I'm going to actually do is use my last 2 ender pearls and get some sand. I'm going to make some sandstone. I will melt down my ender pearls. This thing's actually very slow, so I will come back in a second when this is done. Okay, I am back, and we are done with our 2 ender pearls being melted, and it automatically goes into the fluid transposer. And so we can drop our sand in here, and when you combine the resonant ender with the sandstone, you will actually get endstone. There we go, so we have endstone. And why do we want endstone? That's because we want to plant our ender lilies we found, which grow best on endstone. And so we get these 2 ender lilies because we only have 2 blocks. And now, instead of it taking, I think, like, I'm betting it's 7 to 10 Minecraft days to make this on grass. Instead of that, we can actually get it down to like 1 or 2 Minecraft days. So there we go. So now we have a passive way of getting ender pearls, and we can always expand these out as we get more. And of course, if I find any endermen, I'll just try to get about 8 of these going at one time, so that if I do need ender pearls, you can come out here and pick them. And you do need a lot of ender pearls. So we have that done. And now to the fun part, which is the Quarry Card upgrade. So we are going to use our builder, which we've used in the past with a pump card. So we have a pump card here, but now what we can do is we can actually make a quarry card. And I think we have just enough materials for this. Yeah, so we have we need 3, so we need 4 diamonds. I think we have 4 diamonds. So let's make our pickaxe, our shovel, and I think we have enough for everything else. So now we have a Quarry Card. I use this a lot for building, when I'm building something. So if I'm digging out an area, so for instance, if I want to expand this out, which I will very soon, I will use my quarry, and it will pretty much gut out anything that I want it to get out. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a demonstration and actually work on building a area above where we are now. So I will be back shortly, and then I will demonstrate how this thing works. So now what we're going to do is mine out an area above us. And so I just dug a hole up there and a hole over there. So I'm going to shift click here and get up here. So I like to be 3 blocks above. And so we're going to start at about there. So we'll say this is the first one. And then we go over here. And we want to end up 1, 2, 3, about right there. So we now have our shape, and we can always drop this in here and see it, so we can see if we're not overlapping somewhere. So it looks like it's right. And then we get our lever, and then we activate it. So this thing's gonna tear through that entire area up there. Not enough power. Yeah, I still think we've ran out the internal buffer. We can see it. Okay, so looks like we have a slight issue. The Quarry Card should actually be a clearing Quarry Card. So let me go make that real quick. And we now have a clearing Quarry Card. And it doesn't look like it removed the dimensions, so we can actually just pop it back in here. And actually what I'm going to do with the quarry, if you click on it, right click on it, you can actually void items. So we want to avoid dirt, and this probably we don't need gravel. And I think everything else will probably take, so we can drop it back in here. And I think that should be it. Let's run it again. Here we go. Well, looks like it's not going to take out this gravel here. But it did take out everything else, so here we go. So we actually have a big hole up here that we can build in. And that's pretty much how the Quarry Card works. And I know a lot of people use it for actually mining out areas, which I will do very soon. I need to fill this in with something. So I'm going to go fill that in upstairs, and I'll have another building space for me to work on, most likely in between episodes. I will be back. Okay, and I'm back, and so now we have a nice area up here to build in, and Looks like we used up quite a bit of our power. This was full. But we do have some stuff in here, like aluminum and copper, that we can get into the processing system here. So we will do that. And the next thing on the list is auto output. Is that going to go in there? Oh, there we go. Okay. The next thing in the list is going to be the Angel Ring. And so this is the upgrade to the Ring of the Flying Squid. And so what you do need is that we don't have is a cursed lasso. So it's just a golden lasso with a drop of evil, and you have to capture a ghast with it, and you have to actually reduce the health of the ghast in order to capture it. But so I will go work on this part. So it's going to require me going to the Nether, and what I can do right now is actually make the lasso, and that lasso, the cursed lasso, will actually allow me to capture mobs that are not friendly. So I will do that, and I will come back when I am done. Okay, and I'm back, and I have everything I need to make the Angel Ring. It took me a while to get this ghast, and it took me a few minutes to get the bat. But I have a bat, and I have a ghast in lassos. Then we just craft the ring, and it upgrades our Ring of the Flying Squid to an Angel Ring. And so this, actually get our lassos back. This is, it uses 32 grid power, and it is pretty much creative flight. So if I go out here, I just jump in the air. There we go. You jump, you can float. There's no more power bar. It is pretty much a constant ring of flight. And it's a little overpowered for how easily you can get it. I would think something like this would require like a nether star. But in this pack it does not require that. So now you have creative flight, and I like this particular ring because I do like to build stuff, and when I'm building, this helps a lot. This and the builder's wand helps a lot. So we have a good chunk of what I wanted to get done for the end. So having this ring is another step closer to the end. And so I believe that is it for the episode. Now, the next episode we're going to progress through some more machines and then probably tackle astral sorcery. There's a few things I want to do with that, and that might take a couple episodes, but we'll see. So for now, thank you for watching. I appreciate that, and I hope you learned something. Bye.